and tonight I'm going to be reading you a story. By request, I've been asked to read you A Strawberry Girl and Friends. It won by 1 vote and 1 vote only. So this is a story where it takes place in the future, in the view of one of my descendants. And just to give you guys the heads up, it may involve some crazy stuff, like lots of, and when I say crazy stuff, there might be a little bit of aggression of things and something in there, so this is going to be a bit of a PG video, so just to give you guys the heads up. Okay, so this is how the story's going to go. One day, a girl named Strawberry was in the park. She was a tall 17-year-old girl, turning 18 in March 2060. She was all pink, with freckles on her face, with spiked edges on the tip of her hair. She also has blue eyes. She was one of the most beautiful and most loved girls in her community. In the park, she was hanging with her friends, who were Gina Gooseberry, Belinda Boysenberry, Ellie Elderberry, Bailey Blackcurrant, Chloe Cloudberry, Charlie Chokeberry, like the Charlie but without the E at the end, Rosie Raspberry, Chris Cranberry, like the female version of Chris, Greta Grape, Wendy Wolfberry, Sam Salmonberry, Helen Huckleberry, April Akai, Lucy Lingonberry, Violet Vansterberry, I just made that one up, Geistes Ghostberry, so Geistes is German for ghost, if you don't know, and Bertha Banana. So basically all their last names are all types of berries, so that's how it is. All of them were playing hide and seek and sigh. Geistes added the sigh rule in. However, here's the catch. The seeker can only look for a certain amount of time. Strawberry was the seeker. So one of the main protagonists, Strawberry, that's her first name. I actually don't know her last name because I didn't mention it in the story, but still. She's named after a berry, alright? She had 15 minutes to find all her friends. The park was quite big, so there were lots of hiding places. However, Strawberry was not left deterred. She's played hide and seek for many years, so she knows every single trick. I'll tell you the exact order in where she found her friends. First, well, for most of her friends really, they were hiding behind the trees. But there were some others in different locations around the park. Bertha Banana hid behind the limestone wall in the gazebo. Yeah, very flexible woman. Lucy Lingonberry hid in the tunnel under the slide. Rosie Raspberry hid in the bush. Less bush bash, bro. Helen Huckleberry hid behind a small hill. Strawberry found them all. However, she still had to find Greta Grape, Gina Gooseberry, Sam Salmonberry, and Geistes Ghostberry. If you're wondering where they're hiding, I'll tell you. Greta Grape was hiding behind the bin. Sam Salmonberry was hiding behind her car. Don't worry, because she's in a safe spot. She actually parked it. Gina Gooseberry hid in plain sight on the grass, but I don't know where Geistes Ghostberry is hiding. She's a really quiet girl. Strawberry only had 5 minutes left to find the last 4 players, so she had to be quick. She found Greta Grape and Sam Salmonberry. She still had to find Gina Gooseberry as well. Where could she possibly be? Strawberry went across the field to have a look. Then she tripped over something. Only thing is, it wasn't something. It was someone. "Found you, Gina," she said. "Ah, you certainly did," Gina said. "You alright?" Strawberry asked. "My arm's a bit sore, but I'll be alright," Gina said. Yeah, unfortunately when Strawberry found Gina Gooseberry, she tripped over her arm quite by accident, so that's why. She and Strawberry went to the limestone wall. Strawberry offered her a cup of water and she accepted. She poured her a cup of water, but she knew that she had to be quick to find Geistes Ghostberry. She only had 1 minute left to find her. She asked Rosie Raspberry, April Akai, Lucy Lingonberry, and Violet Vansterberry to help her look around the park. However, they couldn't find her anywhere. It wasn't until then that Strawberry noticed a rich and possibly very sweet smell. What could it possibly be? She then turned around to find me, Stella-Lynn. So Stella-Lynn's like my daughter. Charlotte is Q's daughter, so there's a difference. "Oh, hey there, Stella-Lynn. Have you seen Geistes Ghostberry?" Strawberry asked. Just before we move on, Stella-Lynn is like one name, so Stella-Lynn. One name altogether. So that's how it is. So we'll go from the top of that paragraph. She then turned around to find me, Stella-Lynn. "Oh, hey there, Stella-Lynn. Have you seen Geistes Ghostberry?" Strawberry asked. "Yes, she's right behind you," I said. Strawberry then turned around to find Geistes. "Where have you been?" she asked. "I've been right behind you the whole time. I'm very good at hiding behind the seeker," Geistes said. Strawberry was amazed by this. "My goodness, that is amazing," Strawberry compliments. "Thanks," Geistes said, feeling kinda shy. "Well, you managed to find all of us with 4 seconds to spare," Belinda Boysenberry said. "Nice. I knew that I would make it in time. With your help, of course," Strawberry said. "And that's true," I said. A few days later, it was time to go back to school again. I was in year 11 this year. Some of my friends were in the same class as I was. So Strawberry was in my literacy class, Lucy Lingonberry was in my numeracy class, April Akai and Greta Grape was in my HAS class, so HAS just basically means history. Gina Gooseberry and Violet Vansterberry was in sports class. Ellie Elderberry and Charlie Chokeberry was in my arts class. Wendy Wolfberry, Belinda Boysenberry, and Helen Huckleberry were in my science class. And Rosie Raspberry and Geistes Ghostberry were in my music class, all during different periods of the day. It was pretty fun, although there are a few switch-arounds for some people. As long as we're here for each other, it's all good. If you're wondering about the other ones, they're adults, so they all got jobs. Around morning tea, I ate apples and bananas with my friends, but not all of them had the same fruit as I did. Rosie Raspberry had raspberries, Charlie Chokeberry had slices of pears and oranges, and Geistes Ghostberry had a ghostberry flavoured muesli bar with some slices of blood oranges. I love blood oranges. They're kind of like a mix with an actual orange and a raspberry, just so you know. Greta Grape had her usual grapes, straight from the vineyard. However, Wendy Wolfberry was the only person who didn't eat fruit out of all of us. Wendy had some celery sticks and potatoes for lunch, either baked or cooked in the oven. But that's okay though, because not everyone has to love the same thing as each other. Later that day, at 4:30 p.m, Strawberry came over to visit me at my house. This was for afternoon tea. My father, who was Fan Thursday, so hi there everyone, was working on a model of a future hypersonic airliner, for which apparently the pilot sits in the aircraft's tail and can carry about 800 passengers, even in the wings of the aircraft. He's destined to impress the New World Aircraft Corporation with his new model, for which he calls it Fireflash. So if you watched Thunderbirds, then you would know. So, hold on. That's the Fireflash right there. You can see it. So, it looks familiar, doesn't it? I'll admit it's a really good aircraft. So, credit to Jerry Anderson. This massive aircraft can fly up to 250,000 feet up in the air, so almost in the space. We were just talking about it as we were having our snacks outside in the backyard. We were both wondering about how it'll feel being inside the aircraft. Might it feel better, or might it feel different? We'll have to wait until it comes out in July 2065. That was literally the month that it actually first took flight. But unlike the actual scenario in Thunderbirds, hopefully it will be a successful flight and the hood won't be on board. I remember that. It was quite a good episode. If you don't know the name of it, it's Trapped in the Sky. That's the episode name, Trapped in the Sky. So go watch it if you haven't already. Anyway, moving on. The next day, I was surprised to notice that Geistes was not in my classroom. That was very strange because she told me that she would be at school every day for the entire year. I hope she's alright. God knows what's happened to her. At morning tea, I was talking to Strawberry when at the moment I mentioned Geistes, she appeared out of nowhere. I can tell you now, I was so damn worried about her. Where have you been? I was so damn worried about you, I asked her. Poor Geistes said, my older brother got involved in a light plane crash yesterday, and I don't know if he's alright. I've never been told about it from Queanbeyan. I only just heard about it on the news last night. Boy, that sounded pretty tragic, even if I do say so myself. Oh my, I really hope he's going alright. As long as he's been treated in the right conditions, everything's all good, I said. I gave Geistes a hug of comfort to make her feel better. We were both on the bench, me giving her comfort for about 5 or so minutes. At the end of the school day, Geistes came up and said to me, I'm coming home with you today. Your father and Q are just sorting out things about my brother. Okay. But if Dad isn't coming to pick us up, who is? I asked. I think it's your mum who's coming to pick us up today. I think, Geistes said. I understood. I then realised something that I always kept forgetting. Geistes Ghostberry is a sort of cousin or sister to me. I'm so crazy to keep forgetting such a thing, but I enjoy having Geistes around. She's cool. About a couple of minutes later, I left home was here. Only thing is, it wasn't my mum coming to pick us up. It was Auntie Jade. So when they say Auntie Jade, they're talking about my sister. Want to ride home? Auntie Jade asked us. Yes, please, I said. So Auntie Jade took us to my house in Upper Swan Valley. So if you know where that is, it's quite close. Once we arrived back home, I invited Geistes into my room to play some games. We played some DOS, so the game I just recently played in that other video I showed you, and some Tress. So Tress is just like DOS, but a bit harder. I'll explain the rules about it in another video where I'll definitely talk about it to you. So I need to remember that. Anyway, moving on. I taught her all my tricks before we had a round against Trent. So Trent is Stella-Lynn's younger brother. And another person I'm going to introduce later who is another younger brother of hers, but younger than Trent, is Bailey. So just thought I'd give you the heads up. Anyway, moving on. You gotta admit, that was fun. Yeah, I just did that just for fun. Yeah, I remember that YTP by, I don't remember his name. He's quite a good YouTube poop maker. And he makes Mater say fun just like that. Like, I laughed so hard. It was really good. Anyway, moving on. Soon, my father came into my room and asked, "Is everything alright?" "Hey Dad, we're alright, but can we just talk for a moment? It's about how Geistes is feeling. I think she wants to talk to you as well," I said. "Look, I know it's quite hard, having to know something tragic has happened, but I literally don't know what has actually happened. And not even my girl ghost knows. Or wife, if you like. I know how you feel. You're probably sad or frustrated, right? But don't worry, I can assure you that I will find out about everything on your brother Geistes on your behalf, and that's a promise I will make," my father said. "Thank you, Dad. I understand if it's a bit difficult to find out the truth behind something that has happened, like a light plane crash, or something or someone went missing. But there's nothing to worry about. Although it will take some time to work out what has actually happened, it'll be worth the wait," I said. "That's exactly right. I can ensure that everything is in safe hands. We'll try to find out about it as soon as we can, but for now it remains a mystery into how the crash happened. However, I'll be able to find out about the brother of Geistes by the end of the day, since he's probably at the hospital at the moment being treated. I know because they might either ring me or Queen Bean to tell us how he's gone," my father said. I understood. So, it's set in the year 2060, as I might have mentioned earlier. My daughter Stella-Lynn would be 16 years old. I'll be 53. Yeah, so I'm going to be a pretty ancient father, just so you know, because I already feel old. Yeah, not going to lie, I actually feel quite old now. Anyway, moving on. Later, me and Geistes were in the dark living room, watching some television. We were watching some spooky and supernatural shows, like TSC and The Wizard on the Hill, which are shows we both like. It's not surprising that my father is in both the TV shows, considering he's in love with Queen Bean, and he's super talented in spooky things. That's actually true. The TSC part? Not yet. So, ABC, if you're watching this, I'm waiting. There are 6 seasons of TSC, ending in 2031. Yeah, I did the other 3 for them if that's what they want. Anyway, the Wizard on the Hill the Wizard on the Hill still continues to this day, entering their 11th season this year. But however, they still haven't worked out a sequel for it yet, since it was meant to finish in the 7th season, but no, they haven't made a sequel season yet. Your best bet is that they'll finish off in the 16th season. As we were both watching the television, my father came in and said, "Q's just gonna get your brother, Geistes. She'll be back in about 2 hours." "Okay, I really hope he's alright," Geistes said. "I hope so as well," my father said. In the meantime, we had our dinner, did our business, and played some board games towards the end of the day. I could definitely tell you that me and Geistes totally smashed Trent in DOS. He's still confused about how we play our tricks. I'll tell him someday, but for now, it'll remain a mystery to him. Meanwhile, Q made her way back home from the hospital with the passenger on board. "Everything going alright back there, Ocritus?" Q asked him. "Yeah, pretty smooth," Ocritus said. So Ocritus, it's spelled Okretis. So just thought I'd let you know. As stated by Q, Ocritus got his name from his really great grandfather who lived in Kievan Rus back in the 12th century. He was the leader of the army who had never lost a single battle when he and his troops were in a war zone, inside or outside his home country. Very interesting, isn't it? In the 12th century, that was definitely before the Mongol invasion of Europe. Anyway, moving on. At 8:15 p.m, Q arrived back home with Ocritus. Once she went through the door, Ocritus came in, feeling relaxed and relieved. "How are you feeling, Ocritus?" my father said. "Yeah, not bad. Just some minor injuries and that's it," Ocritus said. Yeah, it turns out he actually just got a few cuts on his leg and just 2 on his left arm, and that's it. He's all good. When Geistes saw him, she ran to him for a big hug. "Oh, brother, I'm so glad you're all right. I was really worried about you," she said. "I know you were, but I'll still be here for you, no matter what," Ocritus said. Geistes softly smiled in tears. She gave him another big hug. I know how much gratitude she has towards her brother. I'm proud of her. I'm glad she's grateful towards her brother. Yeah, Geistes is quite an emotional girl, but she really loves her brother. Ocritus is really family to her, so that's why. The next morning, Strawberry was going to sports for the second period. Me and Geistes came along with her, since we were all in the same class after all. "I wonder what sport we're doing today," Strawberry asked. "I'm not really sure. Let's find out," I said. Along the way, Strawberry accidentally bumped into someone. "Oh my gosh, sorry, are you okay?" Strawberry asked. The person got up and said, "Yeah, not bad. Are you okay?" they asked. Strawberry noticed a cool style of blue hair on their head. Yes, I'm all good. You heading to sports class as well?" Strawberry asked. "Sure am. I can't wait for it," this person said. "Oh, where are my manners? I'm Blake Blueberry," they said. "Nice to meet you. I'm Strawberry," Strawberry said, feeling kind of shy. "That's a nice name. I like it," Blake Blueberry said. I really like your name as well. Blueberries are One of my favourite fruits, strawberry compliments. Well, thank you. I'm a bit of a blueberry lover myself, you know, Blake Blueberry said. Strawberry giggled. Yep, that's Strawberry when she feels nervous, but still tells the truth. It's really true. Strawberry actually does like blueberries. For how they're so juicy, she just can't get enough of them. I know how I like blueberries as well, but not as much as Strawberry does. When she's had a few of them, she'll immediately become obsessed with them. She can get really crazy about it, I tell ya. Like, just as much as Q is obsessed with ghost-berries, that's the same level about how obsessed for how much Q likes ghost-berries, that's how much Strawberry likes blueberries. So, there you go. Alright, when we arrived, the sports teacher arranged us into 2 different teams, since we were going to play some cricket. In our game, Strawberry got 16 runs, and I got 61 runs. But before I can tell you how many runs Geistes got, I just want to tell you that when it comes to cricket, Geistes is unstoppable. Nobody can stump her, call for a DRS, or even try to catch or run her out. Nobody can ever get her out in cricket. She managed to get 343 runs in the end before her team's turn for batting had finished. Yeah, so she broke the world record for the most runs in all of cricket history, basically. Like, she is really talented. Let's be real. However, despite her getting so much runs in, our team still managed to win the game, only just by 3 wickets. I was quite surprised because I thought Geistes had us outnumbered. But it was apparently our team's consistency and patience that helped us win the game. It's really crazy, but it's really true. Our team was really consistent and very patient. We all got 437 runs over the 398 runs the other team got, so a 39-run difference. Wowzers! Later, when I was in literacy class with Strawberry, we were doing a revision test for what we learned from last year and how we could put it forward for this year. We had 30 minutes to finish the test, and to my surprise, I seem to have got all the answers right, despite my expectations of getting a few answers wrong. I was really surprised, and so was Strawberry. We both got full marks on the test. Dadgum, we weren't really expecting this, but somehow it happened. Yeah, another Mater reference in here. At lunchtime, we were both still discussing about that test we did. We were literally confused about how we got each answer correct. Surely we got something wrong. But I guess you can't deny the facts. Besides, we should be proud instead of having a doubt about it. I guess our way of successfully passing the test with flying colours will remain a mystery. Meanwhile, Greta Grape, Violet Vansterberry, Ellie Elderberry, Belinda Boysenberry, Wendy Wolfberry, and Charlie Chokeberry, but without the E at the end for a first name, were all on the oval playing some football. They were finding out who can kick a goal from the furthest away, without having the ball to hit the ground. Yeah, Charlie Porter. Yeah, he loves playing football, but I remember seeing him in that episode where he tried to kick a goal without the ball hitting the ground, but he failed miserably. Oh well, what are you going to do? Anyway, moving on. When it came to the final measurement of distance, 100 metres, so double out from a 50, it became a challenge for most of the crew, except for Greta Grape and Charlie Chokeberry, both sure they can reach the goal from that far. Let's see who can kick it that far. Up first was Belinda Boysenberry, who got to kick the ball. She only got the ball up in the air for 65 metres, which is quite impressive. When Edley Elderberry had a go, she got the ball airborne for 50 metres, as did Wendy Wolfberry, which is quite a good distance if you got a mark, and you've quite the experience. If you're wondering about Violet Vansterberry, she literally got it right on the line for where the goalposts stand. So they were trying to kick a goal, but if she hit the goalposts. So this is Australian rules football, if you don't know. If it hits the goalposts, it's a behind. But this is what happened instead. Wait, right on the line for where the goalposts stand. I stand corrected. Never mind. But just thought I'd tell you if you were interested. She asked Greta Grape nervously, Did I make it? What do you mean? Greta Grape asked. I got it right on the line, said a worried Violet Vansterberry. Like, literally on the line? Greta Grape asked. Violet Vansterberry nods her head. Yep, I'll give that a pass, Greta Grape said. Violet Vansterberry then sighed in relief. I made it, she said, giving Ellie Elderberry a high five. All right, now it's just us two, Greta Grape said to Charlie Chokeberry. You're on, Charlie Chokeberry said. Charlie's quite good as well. Greta Grape held the ball facing straight towards the goals. She was completely in focus, holding the ball in the right position. She checked the wind and assessed the grass conditions. She then kicked that ball, and straight through the goal it went. Greta Grape clenched her fist and shook it once in victory, like this. Your turn, she said. Oh, she really did it like, wow. Charlie Chokeberry was then given the ball. This was her moment of truth. She got herself ready to kick the ball 100 metres towards the goal. How do you think she's going to do it? Well, let's find out. Charlie Chokeberry took several steps backwards to at least have a run-up to kick the ball very far away from where she was standing. She was all pumped and ready to go. She ran forward and kicked the ball. To Greta's surprise, Charlie Chokeberry kicked it an enthralling distance. It went flying through the goal, out the oval, and Gina Gooseberry, who was in the distance, apparently caught the ball without her even realising that it was coming straight towards her. What are the chances of that happening? But it wasn't all good news. As soon as Charlie Chokeberry kicked the ball, she slid forward and fell backwards, all within a second. Oh dear, I think she hurt herself. The others were shocked. Oh man, are you okay, Charlie? Violet Vansterberry asked. Oh dear, I think I hurt my knee, but I'm not sure. It's either that or I pulled a muscle, Charlie Chokeberry said. You want some help getting back up again? Belinda Boysenberry asked. Yes, please, Charlie Chokeberry said. So they helped her up and took her to see me and the crew. Once they got there, I noticed Charlie Chokeberry with her friends helping her. I went up to them and said, What happened? Oh, Stella-Lynn, I think I hurt my knee or pulled a muscle or something, Charlie Chokeberry said. How did you do that? I asked. So me and the girls were playing football, and when it was my go, once I kicked that ball, I slid forth and fell backwards onto the ground, Charlie Chokeberry explained. Oh my. Well, how far out from the goal posts were you? I asked. 100 meters. And before you ask me why, it was Greta's idea, Charlie Chokeberry said. Greta Grape, you should know better than to make others push their limits, just so they can be as great as you are, I said. I'm sorry, Stella-Lynn. And Charlie, it's my fault, Greta Grape said. At least everything is alright, but I don't think I can say the same for myself, Charlie Chokeberry said, still feeling a bit painful from her fall. I'll take you to the front building if you like, and the teachers can help you, I offered to Charlie. I think that's a good idea, Charlie said. So I took Charlie with me to the front building to have her checked by the teachers. I know that I'll probably miss some of my class, but it's for my friend. I always put my friends first before everything, especially safety. It's my way of looking after them. It's the least I can do to help. About 10 minutes later, one of the teachers came into the first aid room to check on Charlie and see if she's alright. Charlie remembered to tell the teacher the whole story, and I helped her with telling them a few things to give them the idea of what happened. They understood. The teacher examined Charlie top to bottom. They then asked, "Are you able to describe every movement from your fall? It doesn't have to be accurate, but try to explain it as best as you can." Okay, so from the moment I kicked the ball, I don't really believe I made a perfect landing because as soon as I landed on the ground, my shoe, the one on the right, bent right over. Then as I quickly straightened it up again, I started sliding forward along the grass. Then I started to fall backwards and then hit the ground with a bump. And probably to how I might have pulled a muscle or hurt my knee, my leg probably stretched out too quickly, which could be the main reason why it hurts, Charlie explained. Oh wow, that is so specific, the teacher said. Trust me, Charlie explained everything. I think I'll let you rest here for a bit. Drink some water and relax. Kitty, I'll make sure to have the staff send you a message if Charlie needs you or if she's all good to go, the teacher said. Okay, thanks for all your help, I said. Anytime, the teacher said. So Stella-Lynn's nickname is Kitty because she would be one to love cats a lot, so yeah, way more than I do. She would love cats so much, she might become one. The nickname was literally inspired from the show Kitty Is Not a Cat. I've watched it before and it was quite amazing. And this is what inspired the name for my own daughter in the first place. That's how it came to be. But I'm not expecting her till the year 2044, so that's how it is. Anyway, moving on. At around 2:10 p.m, I was given the message to come and get Charlie Chokeberry. When I arrived, she looked quite worried. Whatever's the matter, Charlie? You want me to tell on the way back? Do you want to tell me on the way back to class? I asked her. She nodded her head. As we were walking back to class, Charlie told me, what would happen if my parents found out about what happened at lunchtime? I feared that they might get mad at me. Oh, Charlie, do not worry. I'll make sure Greta is right with us when we see whoever is coming to pick you up, I said to her. Charlie still felt kind of worried, but she felt glad about me being on her side. Once the bell had sounded, I went to find Greta Great with Charlie. Once I found her, I asked her if she can come with us to talk to whoever is coming to pick up Charlie. I told her, don't worry, I'll still be here for you. Rest assured, Greta can definitely help explain the problem at lunchtime, surely. We then saw the mother of Charlie, whose name was Zarietta. Zarietta came up to us and said, I heard about what happened around lunchtime. Are you okay, Charlie? She asked. Yeah, no harm done, Charlie said. Greta Grape then said, It was my fault. I took the challenge too far. I'm sorry. I promise I won't do it again unless she has the skills to do so. Oh, Greta, don't you worry. At least she's alright now, Zarietta said. Greta Grape then gave Charlie a little hug before she went home. I literally said Charlie with a French accent right there. Or rather in a French manner, I should say. So Greta Grape gave Charlie a little hug before she went home. I hope you get better soon, she said tearfully. That sounds like Emirates. See you later, Emirates. Alright. Me too, Charlie said. From there on, Charlie went off home. I really hope she's going to be alright, Greta Grape said. Same here, I said. About a minute or so later, Geistes came up and said, Come on, Queen Bean will be here any minute. Oh, okay, just gotta say goodbye to Greta, I said. Okay, but be quick, because she's not gonna be staying here for long, Geistes said. See you again soon, Greta. Hope everything goes alright for you, I said to Greta. You too, Stella-Lynn. Stay safe out there, Greta Grape said. Thank you, I said. I then went over to find Geistes Ghostberry. Stella-Lynn, over here, Geistes called out to me. I quickly made my way to her. What's going to happen? I asked her. Q is going to take us over east to Mount Gravett. So if you don't know where Mount Gravett is, it's just outside of Brisbane. She said that she has to do something important, Geistes explained. Really? What's that? I asked her. I don't know. She might not tell us, but still, Geistes said. The next minute, Q came in a spacecraft and said to us, Quick, you two, jump in. We climbed aboard and off we went. It was going to be a very fast ride to Mount Gravett. Well, it's the future. We might all have our private spaceships by then. It'll probably be really expensive, but to own one is literally a luxury. That's how it is. Okay, so, Geistes, I got a call from your uncle and he wants to talk to you. It's really important, as he said. Q said. Oh no, I'm not in trouble, am I? Geistes asked. I literally don't know, but we're gonna find out, Geistes said. Geistes? Queen Bean? Yeah, I definitely gotta fix that up. Allow me. There you go. But we're going to find out, Queen Bean said. She can't say the same thing twice, but that's how it is. Once we arrived, as we got down to the ground, the uncle of Geistes, who was Brendan, called out to Geistes and said, Geistes, come here for me. Stella-Lynn, Q, I'm kinda scared, Geistes said. Don't worry, you'll be alright, Q said. You want me to come? I asked. Sorry, Kitty. It's probably a family matter, so I'd rather you not get into trouble, Geistes said. I understood. Geistes then made her way in. Oh yeah. My poor girl. Dear oh dear. She and her uncle were in the living room. So, Geistes, tell me, are you trying to be in combat again, but still maintaining a relationship with your friends? You're not in trouble, I just want to know, Brendan said. Yes, Uncle, Geistes said. So if you don't know, Brendan is actually a spy. He literally just always asks for information from Geistes, as Geistes herself would be his little detachment, as I would put it. So, That is how it is. But this is literally the moment where Geistes finds out the truth. And just to let you guys, just to give you guys the heads up, this is where the crazy part begins. He shows like really strange and abstract photos about things, and also at the end, it's going to be a killer. So just thought I'd let you guys know. Anyway, moving on. Okay, in combat with whom, may I ask? Brendan asked. Well, it's with Stella-Lynn, Gina and Rosie, Geistes said. I knew it. I thought you'd choose them 3 girls, Brendan said. I snuck up to the outside of the living room. Stella-Lynn, I don't think it's a good idea to sneak in and listen to their conversation, Q said. No, I'm just curious about what the discussion is about, and I thought I might come and hear what's going on, I explained. Fair enough, Q said. Well, albeit it's quite the same thing. But, hey, we're all going to start somewhere, don't we? So you see this, right? Gina and Gooseberry hiding behind the trees. This is from hide and seek, innit? Brendan asked. Okay, first of all, how did you get those photos? Second, are you trying to be a spy? And 3, yes, it's from hide and seek, Geistes said. Ah, very well played, Brendan said. How did you know I was a spy? He asked. I just know you are one, otherwise I wouldn't be seeing those pictures, Geistes said. Oh my god, he's a spy? I asked in surprise. Yep, you guessed it, Q said. Very good, Brendan said. Now, how about this picture? Why am I seeing dirt? Brendan asked. Oh my god, okay, you're literally just trying to get me to my breaking point, Geistes said. When I saw that specific picture that Brendan was showing to Geistes, I was left embarrassed. Oh, what? How did he know about my race in 2054? I questioned to myself. Wait, that's not possible. How? Q asked. Yeah, 2054 was literally the year. It was the sports carnival, and that was when my daughter literally had the most disastrous race of her life. She almost lost, and literally, it's literally at that it's literally so dramatic. I can't explain how it is. Words can't describe how disastrous it is. It was so bad. She really hurt herself doing it. Anyway, moving on. I then said, that moment still haunts me to this day. I don't know how many people were watching this, but I'm just left shocked and quite embarrassed. No wonder he's been a damn bloodsucker, Q said. No kidding, I said. Okay, this is not right. I didn't come here just to be shown some damn ass sword or what. I'm not attempting to be someone's puppet or give information. I hate this sort of thing. I refuse to say anything. I'm just going to get out of here, Geistes said. Well, hold on just a second. Are you sure you want to leave? I didn't ask for information. I'm literally asking you about your friends because surely they have something that they might have told you, Brendan said. Yeah, Geistes is not convinced. It doesn't matter. I don't care what you want to ask about or if you want information about what you saw. I'm just going to leave you here and head back home with Stella-Lynn to see Ocritus, since I know you're still here for me and not you, Geistes said with a quiet temper. Yeah, she's literally... Her rage is literally slowly building. Like, here we go. As she started to walk back out, in a few seconds, a shot was fired. Bang! You dare to leave this building? I didn't think so. You come back here right now, Brendan said. Not on your Nelly. I don't care if you fire another shot, I'm just getting out of here, Geistes said. Then, 2 more shots were fired down the hall as a warning. There's no way I'm letting you leave until you tell me about those pictures, Brendan told her sternly. Like, to tell you this, even though Brendan is a spy, he's quite mentally insane, just so you know. Oh, really? I've got a news flash for you. I'm not telling you a single thing about them. You're not going to convince me, not even once, Geistes said. Brendan was not left deterred. He would do anything just to know about what he sees. Oh, yeah, he's just like Big Brother, hey, Brendan. Yeah, 1984 reference here. Alright, moving on. Go on, Uncle. I dare you to shoot me, Geistes said. Oh, you asked for it, Brendan said. Another shot was fired, this time straight towards Geistes. Guess what? It didn't knock her down. Because despite the shock, Geistes then started storming towards her uncle. Brendan fired a few more shots until Geistes went and grabbed him by the neck. Want to fire another shot now? I don't think so, she said. She then nicked the gun off Brendan and pointed it towards him. Why are you doing this? Why are you trying to use me for your so-called work? I am not putting myself in for you just so you can be a pyrotechnic wizard, Geistes said furiously. Yeah, like I said, poor girl's emotional. It's to give yourself a better future for yourself, and only yourself. You're not going to stay with your friends. You're going to be a use for my technology. Once I'm done with you, I'll send you to the pits for you to live there for the rest of your life, Brendan said. Geistes then held Brendan's neck more tightly. No, you've only got yourself to blame. I'm not saying a single word and you will not intervene. I'm not living the way you expect me to. I'm a free person. I can do whatever I want, she said. You're not going to do that. You have no choice, Brendan said. Oh, yes, I do, Geistes said. She held her uncle's neck, breathlessly, until he finally passed out. She then dropped the gun on him and ran outside as quick as she could before she got into any more trouble and pain. She then ran to me for the tightest hug I would have ever felt. Oh my God, thank God I got out of here. I am never coming back to his home again, Geistes said tearfully. I understood what she said. I gave Geistes a tight hug as well, as I could hear her silent cry. She was definitely traumatized in here. She was definitely traumatized in there. About half an hour later, me and the crew arrived back home to see my father sitting under the patio. As soon as we were on the ground, Geistes ran over to my father and hugged him really tight. Oh, Van Thursday, you won't believe how terrified I am, she said. Oh man, well, why don't you come with me to my room and we can talk about it, he asked her. Geistes nodded her head. So, they went to his room, and I wanted to come along too. I made sure to knock on the door and asked him if I could come in. I told him that I was one, along with Q, who witnessed what had happened. He invited me in. So tell me, girls, what happened out there? He asked calmly. So it's about my uncle. He almost tried to take me away from everything, just so he could use me for his own purposes. I tried to resist, but he just gone and shot me. I'm sorry, I can't explain it too well, Geistes said. Don't worry, Geistes. I completely understand what you're saying. Trust me, I get my sentences mixed up all the time, as you might already know, Kitty, my father said. Yeah, he understands what you're saying in his own way, I added. It's true, my father said. Yeah, I like to explain things in my own way. That's how Austinian English came to be, everyone. Okay, moving on. But how do you really know what I'm talking about? Geistes asked. It's something to do with body language. If someone is trying to say something, but they don't know how they put it, I look at how their body is trying to express how it should be explained. And that's exactly what I did to understand what you were trying to say, my father explained. Geistes understood what he meant by that. Well, Uncle Van Thursday, because I know I'm like a niece to you, you know how Brendan was a bit of a bad guy? Geistes asked. Go on, my father pondered. Do you know if he got arrested or not? Geistes asked. We'll only find out if it comes on the news, my father stated. All right, I can wait for that, Geistes said. My father gave the thumbs up. At 7 p.m., the news was on. Geistes asked him, why do you normally watch the ABC news? This one is national news, so it tells news about what's happening all around the country. My father said. The news about your uncle will be up there, he added. About 45 minutes later, there it was, the news article on Brendan. This is what they said about it. Police stormed into his house, finding many information into proof that he was a spy. However, he was found to be choked to death by someone who had interacted with him. It's unknown now, but until we find out who killed this evil spy, he is to be detained and sent off by the authorities. Geistes then started to have really haunting and dark feelings. If they find out that I choked him to death, I'll be in trouble, she said. You really did that? My father asked her. Yes, and if they find me, I won't be with you guys anymore, and I'll get all anxious and I'll pass out, Geistes said in a stressed tone. Don't worry, Geistes. It's lucky you came to the right place and the right person. If ever they find out that it was you who killed them, I can easily bail you out without having you arrested for the crime, my father told her. You can really do that? Geistes asked. Of course I can. You can guarantee that you'll be safe, my father said. I really hope you can, so fingers crossed, Geistes said. At around 1:20 a.m., as Geistes lay comfortably on the floor in the room where I sleep, she was in a dream where she was standing on a hill until it started to get stormy. She started to get tossed about, only until she saw the ghost of her uncle, who was very furious. I knew I couldn't trust you, Geistes. I'll be haunting you for the rest of your life, Brendan said. He then roared and blew Geistes Ghostberry right off the hill. She then woke up, extremely frightened. You won't believe how loud her scream was. Oh dear, what's happened? Stella-Lynn said as she stretched out her arms. Oh my God, Stella-Lynn. I just had this horrible nightmare about being blown off the hill by the ghost of Brendan. I was really scared, Geistes said. It's all cool, Geistes. Just remember, I'll be right here for you if you need anything, yeah? I can protect you from the bad stuff, but if need be, I said to her. But how do you know if you might come back again? Geistes asked me. I might never know, but if you want, I can help you feel comfortable, so you don't have to be frightened all the time, I told her. Oh, Geistes nodded her head. She hugged me, feeling tearful but glad as well. Yeah, emotional girl. Yeah, but she's cool though. She's quite cool. The next morning, as I watched the news again, the detectives have found out about who choked Brendan to death. The name of Geistes had been told by them. When Geistes herself came in, she saw this and was left stunned. This was no joke. It's all happening as we speak. When my father came in, when he saw what was on the news, he knew they had to prepare to use his negotiation skills if ever he would be confronted by the officials. Yeah, can't catch me. He's been doing this for years and not once had he ever failed to do so. It could prove quite a challenge to him, but he's always ready to give it all he's got. You can definitely say that he's quite the legend of negotiations, always pursuing the best deals to ensure the safety for everyone in his community. Yeah, always the one to overpower the law. Even though I have an ideology that doesn't believe in it. Just so I have to say. Moving on. About half an hour later, there was a knock on the door. It was an official whose name was John. He's come over to see Geistes Ghostberry. My father was ready to negotiate with him. However, Geistes came up to him and said, "Don't worry, Uncle Van Thursday. This is my problem. I'll try my best to solve it." "Are you sure you want to do this?" my father asked her. "I'm sure. Don't worry about me," Geistes said. So Geistes went to John and said, "I know why you've come." "Yes, I'm here to talk about your uncle. I believe that was you who killed him," John said. "It's true. I choked him to death," Geistes said. John was surprised. "I really didn't want to, but I had no choice. If I didn't do that, he would have shot me down already, and then hid all the evidence. Do you know he's a spy?" Geistes asked. John then said, "I do. He's never paid for his charges nor his fines. He kept focusing on finding information, collecting weapons, and smoking. But no one really expected you to actually kill him. Yeah, no smoking, everyone. It kills ya." Anyway, moving on. "I mean, you're his niece, right?" he asked. "Yeah, but he already had bared in mind that I was going to come for him. Even my aunt, who had long since divorced him, wanted him to be taken care of, but the police wouldn't dare go anywhere near him, so that just left me," Geistes explained. "I understand you. I knew you would be the one who would take care of him." "You would be the only person who would take care of him," John said. "But it would have been easy if I just handed him to the cops, isn't it?" Geistes asked. No, what I'm trying to say is, you're not going to get arrested for killing him," John said to Geistes. "Wait, what? Really? But why?" Geistes asked. "There wouldn't be anyone who would dare to take care of Brendan other than you. You're literally smarter than anyone would know on how to take advantage on people that even officials like me can't even reach to. So you're all good to go," John said. "Oh, thank you, sir. I'm forever grateful," Geistes said. "It's all good, but there's just one thing I want to say," John said. "Okay, I'm listening," Geistes said. "Just be careful out there for me, yeah?" John asked. "Yes, sir, I will," Geistes said. So Geistes had her name cleared from the death of her uncle. She got herself ready to go to school as John went off to see his next case. Geistes was so relieved after what she had went through. She was so glad to have herself saved from being arrested. Phew. As we were both ready to go to school, Geistes wanted to tell my father something before she forgets to tell him. "Uncle Van Thursday, I just want to ask you, "If you see the ghost of Brendan, can you catch him for me?" she asked. "Well, of course I can. I'll catch him before you come back from school today," my father said. "Oh, thank you very much," Geistes said. It's all good. It's the least I can do to help," my father said. Oh, holy dooly, I'm getting tired. During the day, Geistes kept silent about what she went through. Even if someone had asked her about it, she wouldn't say a word. She would only come and tell me in case anything needed to be discussed. She wouldn't tell anyone else. It will remain our own little secret thing, just so I have to say. In the afternoon, during 5th period, me, Geistes and Strawberry were at the sports class playing some more cricket. If you remember me telling you that Geistes is unstoppable at playing cricket, she really took it to a maximum. For every ball served to her, she always got a 6 and never got bowled out. I have no idea what's going on with her. I really hope she's alright. Strawberry was wondering the exact same thing. At the end of the game, Geistes led her team to victory by 160 runs. Ooh, sorry about that. Our team ended up with 493 runs in total. And knowing Geistes was unstoppable in her path, she clocked in 366 runs for herself. 4 more than me in a T10. In total, for her entire team, they got 650 runs, which is an amount no one has ever achieved in the history of cricket. Yeah, so she broke the world record for basically everything in cricket. I think it's safe to say that no one can ever try to beat that score, except for my father, since he's really good at cricket. Yeah, I'm always ready to face against her. If she dared me to a match, just to let you know. Dear me, Geistes, no one is ever going to get you out in cricket. Pardon me. I don't know what to do with you, the teacher said. I then came up and asked them, "Have you ever seen my father play cricket before?" The teacher then said, "Oh yeah, what's the most amount of runs he got in a T20, they asked. 517. This helped encourage his team to get lots of runs, getting an amount more than our competitors did. Yeah, actually I broke the world record, not Geistes. Yeah, watch this. This helped encourage his team to get lots of runs, getting an amount more than our competitors did, I explained. How many runs did his team have in total? The teacher asked. Oh, holy dolly, I can't stop yawning. They got 716 runs in total, almost totaling to the maximum amount of runs you can get in a T20, which is 720, I said. Yeah, so almost every time we got a 6, me and my teammate, but there was only one time where we didn't get a 6 and just got 2 runs instead, so that's why. Anyway, all the students were shocked. "That really happened?" one of them asked. "Yes, it did. It happened about 20 years ago, I think," I said. "So somewhere before or after 2040 it happened," another student asked. "I think so. It's definitely before I was born," I said. "Well, I encourage you to make him come and visit, but as a visitor only, yeah?" the teacher asked. "Yep, will do," I said. "Wait, what's he going to do?" Strawberry asked. "He's going to try and catch Geistes out in any way possible," I said. "All right, you're on," Geistes said. When me and Geistes came home, I asked Dad if he was interested in coming to school tomorrow to play cricket. "I think I can. I only work twice a week for 10 hours total on Tuesday and Wednesday." "I come along, but only as a visitor," he said. That's exactly what the teacher asked me about, I said. Nice, let's do it, my father said. So my sports class is at third period. Do you know what then? Do you know when that is? I asked. Yep, 11:15 a.m., my father said. How do you know the times for each period? I asked him. It's because I've been there before, my father said. Really? I asked. Yes, I did, my father said. Yeah, I know the timetable quite easily for my high school, so that's how it is. I would remember that for decades, if not centuries. Anyway, the next day it was time. In third period, my father came over as a visitor to play cricket. However, since I know that I have some different sports teachers on different days, I'd asked the teacher who hosted the class yesterday to see my father. And they did. Ooh. They showed him to the outdoor courts where we play our game. Meanwhile, all the other students, including Strawberry and Geistes, were getting ready for the game. They all looked pumped and ready to go. They can't wait to see how the game might go. All the adrenaline is in them, and they're going to use it towards their game. When I came back to the outdoor courts, we were all assigned into two different teams. As usual, Strawberry and I went on the same team, and Geistes was on the opposing side. My team then noticed that there's one person who isn't in our team, and there was no one left standing out to join in. What are we possibly going to do? Oh my, we're going to need an extra player, said Strawberry. Did someone say they needed an extra player? Called out a voice. There was my father, who was ready and raring to go. He came in and joined my team. Hope that's all right with you, Tim, he said. Oh, well, of course you can. They needed an extra player, so yeah, feel free to join them, the teacher asked. Wait, you know him? Asked my father. Yep, he's your uncle, he said. Wait, what? I did not know that, I said. Well, that's him, your Uncle Tim. You want me to ask him to come over? My father asked. If you want, I said. Hey Tim, you don't mind just coming over for a second? My father called out to the teacher. He walked on over and said, Hey man, what's up? He asked. Have you met Stella-Lynn? She's your niece, my father said. Oh really? So Stella-Lynn, it looks like you're my niece. But just remember, during school time you must call me Mr. Tim, the teacher said. Yes, Mr. Tim, I said. Good. Now who wants to play cricket? Mr. Tim asked. Everyone got excited. So the game was on. Through doing the bat flip, the opposing side won and chose to bat. Only thing is, Geistes was actually the fifth one to bat. So number five. So we had to wait until she came up. In the meantime, we can just do our best to field until it's our turn to bat. However, we didn't have to wait very long because it wasn't until the fifth over that the fourth batter was bowled out by Strawberry. Her practice on bowling the ball has really paid off. I'm proud of her. Nice work, Strawberry. I'm proud of you, I said to her. Oh, thank you so much, Strawberry said. Now it was time for Geistes to bat. It was her moment of truth. Will she bat successfully? Or will she be out sooner than she thinks? There's only one way to find out. My father then asked Mr. Tim, Can I go outside the courts of field? I have a feeling that I know exactly which way Geistes might hit that ball. Okay, you do what you gotta do, Mr. Tim said. My father went all the way out towards the two detachable buildings that sits just outside the sports hall. He was ready for anything to come. It was time for Geistes to bat. A boy named Greg was the bowler. He's quite good at bowling the ball, but he never got a wicket on his belt. When he and I had a little pep talk, he told me that he'll try his best to at least get a good performance in the game. I understood what he meant by that, so here we go. When Greg bowled the ball, Geistes whacked it into the air and out of the court. It went very high up. "Sir, why aren't you signalling a 6? One student asked. "Van Thursday out there is waiting for the ball to come back down. He reckons that he can catch it," Mr. Tim said. "Let's see if he can," the student said. About 10 seconds later, as Geistes watched the ball come back down to earth, surprisingly, having noticed that my father was out there waiting for it, he got his hands at the ready, prepared to do anything he can to catch that ball. It was coming down quite quickly, racing towards the ground. Everyone was watching him. Was he going to do it? Then, guess what? He caught the ball. I caught the ball myself. Me, Van Thursday. Geistes was out for a golden duck. An expert batter caught out on the first ball. Geistes was left stunned and quite embarrassed. Everyone else on the field clapped and cheered on my father. When it was our turn to bat, I was up first this time with another player who was Ben Blackberry. Remember, this is in the view of my daughter Stella-Lynn, so just a reminder. My father was going to be the third batter should one of us be caught out. I was ready to go. Let's see how we go. As I'd learned from my father, he taught me all the tips and tricks into getting a 6 every time. I used it towards every ball served, and it was successful. Unfortunately, though, Ben got out on the second ball served and didn't score any runs, but I was resilient to him and encouraged his efforts. Ben felt glad that I still congratulated him despite him not getting any runs. Good job, Ben Blackberry. You were a good guy. When it was my father's turn, for every ball served, he kept smacking them away for 6. Since I know he's played cricket before I was born, he knows all the tricks into getting a successful and unbeatable score for his team. In the end, it only took 7 overs just to succeed in winning this game. I was caught out eventually, but that didn't stop him from supporting his teammates and teaching them his skills for my team to try and use in the future, all on the pitch. We won just by 3 wickets, getting only 305 runs in. It was right on target. It's raining outside. We need that rain anyway. Man, Rob's going to be happy when he comes to mow the lawn tomorrow. Well, thank you for coming today, my father. I really enjoyed this experience today, I said. I really hope you did, because I won't be able to do it again, my father said. That's understandable. It was fun to have you play some cricket with us, I said. I'm glad you enjoyed it, my father said. And the reason why I said I won't be able to do it again is because since in that year I would be 53 years old, I would literally be, I don't know, about 12 years out from retirement, so that's why. I know it's kind of like a long time, but I just want to let the students at the school know that this is just a one-off experience, so that's why. At lunchtime, me and Strawberry were talking about the cricket game we did with our friends. They were really surprised when they heard about my father playing in the game. Seriously, you weren't in trouble? Greta Grape asked. Nah, he's a friendly guy, I said. When I told them about how many runs we got within the 7 overs, they were all shocked. How did you manage to get that many runs so fast? Gina Gooseberry asked. Let's just say my father taught them the tricks he knew, I said. Very interesting, Belinda Boysenberry said. In the late afternoon, when Q came in, she had a guest with her. Hey Geistes, I've got a visitor, she called out. When Geistes came out, she saw her aunt, who was Elizabeth. At that moment, she came up and gave her a hug. Oh, Geistes, I'm so glad you're okay, Elizabeth said. Me too, Geistes said. She was so glad to see her aunt again. Now this part here, it just reminds me of the names. There you go. So how have you been? Elizabeth asked. Yeah, pretty smooth. How are you? Geistes asked. Not too bad, thanks for asking, Elizabeth said. Elizabeth was only here to visit, though, because she has to return home to look after a 3-year-old daughter. But while she was hanging, she gave Geistes something she hadn't seen in years, which was her necklace, with a purple gemstone attached to it. Oh my gosh, I've not seen this thing in years, and what? How'd you find it? Geistes asked. Your uncle hid it in his collection cabinet. As soon as I was given it, I just had to give it back to you, Elizabeth said. Well, thank you. I've been wondering where it went, Geistes said. On Monday, since I don't really talk about weekends because they're always boring. Yeah, touche. Geistes came to school wearing her long-lost necklace. When her friends saw her, they were in awe when they saw said necklace. Man, I like that necklace. Where'd you get it? Gina Gooseberry asked. Oh, this is a necklace that I lost, and my aunt found it again, Geistes said. She told him all about it during morning tea. The story had some thrills and chills, but it was interesting overall. So how'd you get that necklace in the first place? Greta Grape asked. It was given to me from my grandmother, since she loved to look after me. She's passed away now, but this necklace tells me that she'll always be there as a ghost, Geistes said. I reckon your grandmother really believed in you, Charlie said. Oh, she did. She really loved having me around to help her. It was really fun, Geistes said. She had lots to say about her grandmother for sure. During third period, when we were in the maths class, we did another revision test to see if we can remember what we learned from last year, so we can use it towards this year. Oh, goodness me. I only got 3 answers wrong and that's it, but that's okay because I still passed. Geistes, however, got every single answer correct, like in the last test. Man, you remembered everything, I whispered to her. I sure did. All you have to do is just strongly focus on the question, and as soon as you know it, you'll work it right out, Geistes whispered back. When the teacher saw us, they came up and said, What are you two talking about? I'm giving my friend some advice to help her for when she does the test, Geistes explained. What did you tell her? The teacher asked. I told her that if you strongly focus on the question, soon as you know it, you'll get the answer right out, Geistes said. Okay. Do you two want to wait outside until the test finishes so you can continue discussions? The teacher asked. Yes, please, sir, Geistes said. So we went to a table just outside our classroom in the hallway. We continued discussing about our tests from the one we did. And the ones we might be doing, but quietly though so we don't disturb the other students. Geistes gave me some advice on what to do when you're doing a test, but she told me, don't do it seriously, otherwise you won't come up with something. Yeah, so don't stare at the question too hard, she said, basically. When you focus on a question, you have to think logical. And as soon as you come to the right place in your memory, write down that exact answer you caught, she would explain. I understood what she said. Meanwhile, Strawberry was in Hass class, learning about different medieval wars. However, it was not on ancient Greece and the Roman Empire. We're talking about wars starting from the beginning of the 9th century. They were currently on different wars between England and France. There were many wars between England and France back in the days. All of them sound really interesting. But then Strawberry realised something that she thought was quite amazing. She put her hand up to grab attention from the teacher. Is there anything you want to say, Strawberry? The teacher said. Yes, miss, Strawberry said. Can you believe that it's almost been 1,000 years since the Battle of Hastings? I mean, we're in 2060 now, aren't we? So almost 1,000 years ago, William the Conqueror sent his forces to fight against King Harold's forces. But on October 14, 1066, William's forces decided to flee. But the opposition didn't know that they were trying to trick them. So King Harold's forces went on to chase them, but as soon as they were in the right spot, the other side turned around and defeated them, ending not only King Harold's reign, but also ending the Saxon era altogether. And therefore, William the Conqueror was then crowned the King of England on Christmas Day, Strawberry quoted. Everyone in the entire classroom was surprised from what they heard. Oh my gosh, Strawberry, that's so true. It really has been almost 1,000 years since the Battle of Hastings. I can't believe this. Time really does fly, the teacher said. How did you know that? She asked. Well, as we were talking about different medieval wars between England and France, that was just when I realised that the Battle of Hastings happened almost 1,000 years ago to this day, Strawberry said. Everyone applauded her. That was really good. You've definitely earned yourself a house point, the teacher said. At lunchtime, Strawberry came over and told me all about it. From what she said, she was absolutely right. Since it is 2060 now, to mark 1,000 years since the Battle of Hastings wouldn't be until another 6 years later on October 14th. We would already have our own homes by then. That's why she said almost. We're not there just yet. A few minutes later, Blake Blueberry came over. When Strawberry saw him, she started to feel shy. However, she had the feeling to go see him. I've no idea what she's up to. Hey Blake, how you doing? Strawberry asked. Oh, fantastic. I really loved what you quoted about the Battle of Hastings. I really thought it was quite interesting, Blake said. Really? It was something I've only just realised, Strawberry said. When he said it though, I was quite impressed. I reckon you could teach me a thing or two about history, Blake said. I guess I could. I've lots to tell you about history, Strawberry said. Yeah, so Strawberry is quite the brains for history, so that's why. So with Blake, Strawberry sat with him to talk about different wars in history, including all 3 world wars. I was just amazed by how detailed she made every topic, and all within a short amount of time to fit before the bell had sounded. Every war she mentioned was just as detailed as the other. She was that great at it. Later in the afternoon, Auntie Luna came to pick up me and Geistes. Hey you two, how you doing? She asked. Yeah, not bad. And you? I asked. It's gone pretty smooth, Luna said. Then Strawberry came around and said, Hey, Stella-Lynn. See you tomorrow? She was going to walk home with Blake. Yep, see you tomorrow. Have fun with Blake, I said. I sure will, Strawberry chuckled. Later in the evening, I heard a knock on the door. I went over to see who it was. I saw Luna with someone else. Come on in, my father said. When Luna came in, she said to me, Stella-Lynn, have you ever met my daughter, Luna-Lynn? I don't think I have. Nice to meet you, Luna-Lynn. I'm Stella-Lynn, I said. Nice to meet you as well, Luna-Lynn said. I could see that she felt a bit shy. Bit shy today? I asked. Yeah, it can be hard sometimes when she meets new people, Luna said. I understood what she said. It's okay, my dear. She won't hurt you, Luna said. Luna-Lynn came up slowly and gave me a hug. Oh, she's a really kind fella, isn't she? I asked. She is. When she sees you for a moment, she'll come up and give you a hug, Luna explained. Fair enough, I said. A few minutes later, Geistes came to my father and asked, Is it okay if I sleep in the living room tonight? I've seen your visitor and I don't want to take up too much space. It's okay, Geistes. We won't be here for the night, Luna said. Oh, okay. Just thought I'd offer you a spot if you did, Geistes said. Thank you, Geistes, Luna said. So, Luna-Lynn, is there anything you want before we go? Luna asked. Luna-Lynn nods her head. Oh yeah. She came up to my father and asked, Can you play me a bedtime song? And can I eat a muesli bar, please? Well, of course I can. I'll get my guitar and play you a bedtime song, and you can help yourself to a muesli bar as well, my father said. My father went to get his acoustic guitar from his room. I actually do have an acoustic guitar. If you have a look, that's it right over there, just next to the piano. So yeah, I really do have an acoustic guitar. Okay, moving on. We went to the living room to have a listen to him playing some music. He played a song which talks about dreams as you lay comfortably in bed in the evening. I can tell you now, it was really a heartfelt song. I loved it. When I went to see Geistes in my room, I asked her if she heard what my father played on his guitar. This is what she told me. I've heard of this song before. Every time it plays, it's really heartfelt. I really have a lot of feelings towards it, Geistes explains. She then started to feel emotional. I went up to her to see if she's alright. My mother used to sing me this song on her guitar when I was 3, but when she passed away a year later, I couldn't bear to sleep without hearing her singing to me. My father told me that everything was going to be alright, and once a week, he'll play a recording he filmed on his phone to help me get to sleep. But just after I turned 5, he passed away, and that meant I wouldn't be able to see that recording of my mother playing the song to me. For 3 months, I couldn't sleep. I was at Aunt Elizabeth's house until Queanbeyan came to pick me up to live with her, Geistes said. I could see how she felt. I wanted to give her comfort. When I did, she cried silently as I cuddled her. I could definitely feel how she felt. She really wanted that comfort. After Luna and her daughter left, my father came into my room to see Geistes. He could see how she felt. Old memories coming back to you? He asked. Geistes nodded her head. I get how you feel, trust me. I felt that way before, and I still do today, every time I hear or play this song. I can definitely say that it's one of the most heartfelt songs anyone has ever played, my father said. I agree. I always feel emotional every time I hear this song. I love it, but every time it does play, I think of my parents before they passed away. It's always been that way since 2047, Geister said. I understand you, my father said. He gave Geister some comfort. I was there at the door of my room watching them. As I did see them, my father started to get emotional himself. Yeah, man. I could see how he felt. I'll leave him and Geistes alone until their moment has come and gone. I went to the living room in the meantime. A few minutes later, my father got up and said to Geistes, If you need me again, you know where to find me, and we can talk. Geistes nodded her head. She turned to face the window, looking up at the stars. Mama, if you can hear me, just remember, I'll always love you forever, she said to herself. Or rather, up to the sky. The stars shone down on her as she sat in the lightless room. Meanwhile, my father went to find where I was. When he saw me in the living room, he asked me, Still feeling down? Yeah, but it's not just about Geistes. It's about you, I said. Like you, I feel emotional when I hear the song about dreams, but I don't really know why I do. Maybe it's because it reminds me of how much you and Mum care for me. But I don't know where Mum is. I haven't seen her in 3 years, but every time I hear this song, it reminds me of how much you and Mum care for me. If not, then I don't know what is, I added. I know how you feel. It's the same for me. When I hear or play the song about dreams, I think about how much my parents cared for me when I was really young. So, between 3 and 8 years old, I get emotional every time I hear or play this song. Even though I do feel that way, it really helps me with everything, my father said. I understand you. Even though it is a sort of sad feeling, at the same time, it's a good feeling, I said. So, as O from home would say, sad glad. That's exactly right. It really is a good feeling when you think about it that way, my father said. I agreed with that. Alright, I'll just see how Geistes is going. I'll make sure to ask for you if she needs you, or if she wants to talk to you. Whether she wants me to tell you or she'll tell you herself, I said. My father gave me the thumbs up, so I made my way to my room. When I got there, Geistes was still feeling emotional. But at least she was more calm. I really wanted to see how she's going. Tears still run down from her eyes, but she contentedly looked at the stars out the window. She was all silent, not saying a single word. Hey Geistes, how are you feeling? I asked her. I'm still emotional. I really like feeling this way for some reason. To me, it's really a good feeling, Geistes said. I understood what she said. From a song about dreams, all the memories, they feel so good. I feel sad about them, but I'm glad they do. I feel lonely as well, knowing that my parents are no longer here to look after me. And even there, I feel heartfelt and content when I think of my mother playing some music on her guitar, when both her and Dad are up there looking down on me. I enjoy it when all those feelings come together, Geistes said. That's understandable. I think that's a beautiful combination of feelings towards what you have in mind, and you want to express how it feels that way, I said. That's right. I really love it when all those feelings come together. It really helps me with how I want to express the memories I'm thinking of, and I love it, Geistes said. I love it as well. It really is a beautiful combination of feelings, I said. Thank you, Geistes said. 16 days later, so the 27th of February, it was my brother Trent's birthday. He's turning 13 this year. My father told him before he went to school with me in the morning, "Don't believe in bad luck when you're 13. It does things to you." "Oh, I don't really believe in such a superstition. I think of it as a good number, just like the rest," Trent said. "Yeah, to be honest, I really do as well. I don't believe in bad luck at all. I don't believe in luck at all, even though chances exist, I don't believe in luck." During morning tea and lunchtime, I decided to spend time with him. I decided to spend time with him as an honorary sister to him. I asked him what he wants to be when he's an adult. "Oh, thank you for asking. I think I want to travel the world, maybe to visit Ukraine and Germany. Those two places sound like great fun to go to," Trent told me. "Well, since the war has ended ages ago, I'm sure that Ukraine is rebuilt and ready to be visited by free tourists," I said. "Oh, there was a war in Ukraine?" Trent asked. "There was. It started just over 38 years ago, on February 24th, 2022. So remember, the time of the story takes place in 2060, so just so you know. It started just over 38 years ago, on February 24th, 2022, and I think it ended sometime in 2031, I explained. "Wow, so 9 years long it lasted. Who'd they fight against?" Trent asked. "They fought against Russia. They said it was the largest invasion of a European country since World War II. It remained a stalemate for about 8 years until Russia hit a weak point in the war, and Ukrainian forces managed to push them out," I said. "Oh wow, I bet it took a lot just to do that," Trent remarked. "Oh, it did. It took the strength of 3.5 million people just to knock them out of the country and to get Crimea back, along with taking the Kursk region," I said. "Oh man, I'm glad it's safe now, otherwise I would be dead," Trent said. "Well, I don't want to lose my oldest brother for sure," I said. "Oh, I'm glad to have you look after me and Bailey," Trent said. "Me too," I said. Yeah, so Bailey would also be Stella-Lynn's brother. Bailey would be like the youngest out the lot, so that's how it is. In the meantime, Strawberry and Blake are really starting to get along well. I never thought I'd say this, but they're really like the best of friends now. They were sharing stories, they played some games together. They even planted a tree together. They really like having lots of fun with each other. 5 days later, it was Bailey's birthday. Now I know what you're thinking. Why are their birthdays so close together? To tell you the truth, Bailey is actually 4 years younger than Trent. He's turning 9 today. What's also surprising is that his birthday is exactly 1 month after school had started for this year. His birthday is on a Wednesday this year, so he has to go to school. However, my father told him, "You don't have to worry a thing. You don't have to worry a single thing, because you can always celebrate it with your friends." For some reason, Bailey actually liked that idea. He literally went to school and told everyone about his birthday, even the teachers. I just can't believe he did that. Anyway, during morning tea, I told my friends about how today is Bailey's birthday. But Bailey Blackcurrant was confused. "Wait, are you talking about me? But my birthday isn't until the 7th of April. "No, Bailey. I'm talking about my brother Bailey. It's his 9th birthday today," I said. Bailey Blackcurrant felt embarrassed. "Don't worry, my girl. It's okay if you get confused about someone. It's okay if you get confused about someone who might have the same name as you do," I said. Take Charlie, for example. She got confused because it was her birthday at the time, but instead, we all thought it was Charlie Dilson's birthday. But when she came and told us that it was her birthday today, and not his, we felt so silly having not realised that it was actually her birthday, I explained. It's my fault. I thought it was Charlie Dilson, but I forgot it was actually you, Charlie, so I do apologise, Greta Grape said. That's alright, at least you know for next time, Charlie said. Oh yeah, that was a really funny day. I do apologise, Bailey said. No, you're all good. It's okay if you make that mistake. It happens often, I said. I'll take your word for it, Bailey said. In the afternoon, when it was time to go, I was waiting to see who was going to pick up me and Geistes. As we were waiting, Trent came along and said, I'm with you girls today. Oh, okay, the more the merrier, I said. We were all waiting out the front to see who might come to pick us up. Then I saw my youngest brother Bailey running towards me in excitement. Sister, he shouted. He ran up to me and gave me a hug. Hey Bailey, what are you doing here? I asked. I got to tell everyone about my birthday at school today, and I got a giant birthday cake for lunch, Bailey said. Did you now? How big was it? I asked. It was bigger than my head. Yeah, Bailey said. Wow, that's a big cake, I remarked. I'm just going to put something in here. There. Hey, your aunt is waiting for you in her van, Bailey said. Okay, but which aunt? I asked. I don't remember her name, since she rarely comes over. She told me that she rarely comes over, Bailey said. Okay, Bailey, lead the way, I said. When Bailey showed us to the van, I saw my aunt, for which Bailey was right, she does rarely come over. Oh, is Auntie Callisto coming to pick us up? I asked Bailey. Yeah, that's her. She's the aunt with the pretty freckles on her face, Bailey told me. She does have pretty freckles, I said to Bailey. Now just to give out a clarification, the subtitles on YouTube always spell Callisto wrong. So Callisto is really spelled Callisto. That's how it's spelled. So don't forget that. If you want an easier reference, think of that moon orbiting Jupiter. That'll make things easier. Anyway, moving on. Hey there, Auntie Callisto, I said. Hey there, Stella-Lynn. Are you and the crew ready for a ride home? Callisto asked. We were all ready and raring to go. So all we went in the van and headed off home we did. When we got home, I saw Uncle Tim waiting out the front. Hey look everyone, it's Uncle Tim, I said. Yay, Uncle Tim, Bailey said. Oh, so it is, Trent said. Bailey was the first to jump out. He darted over to Uncle Tim to give him a hug. I can tell you now he's a very energetic boy. I just don't know where he gets his energy from. Well, I can't stop him from celebrating his birthday. He deserves to enjoy it. I went over to see Uncle Tim. Hey Uncle Tim, how are you going? I asked him. Yeah, not bad. How are you? Uncle Tim asked. I'm going alright, I said. We all made our way in. Auntie Callisto came with a big present for Bailey. When he opened it, he immediately started to get excited. It's the bicycle! Oh, thank you, Auntie Callisto, Bailey said. That's okay. However, it's no ordinary bicycle. It's a flying bicycle, just like your father's bike, Callisto said. Wait, you have a flying bicycle? Bailey asked. I certainly do. I'll teach it everything into how to fly because it's not like riding a normal bicycle, my father said. Yeah, it really is. So The Civil Aviation Safety Authority, if you're watching this, guess what? I'm going to build a flying bicycle, and I need you to watch me do a test flight. So, yeah, just know that. Anyway, moving on. For the rest of the day, we did some games, had some dinner, and had some cake. We had chocolate mud cake, just like how my father usually has one on his birthday. Yeah. But as I age, I would decide that I would literally have my birthday only on specific years. Like, I originally planned to stop celebrating my birthday as soon after I turned 25, but I'm going to pick out specific years so that my family gets the chance to celebrate, even my descendants. Anyway, moving on. Besides, he doesn't care if you call him an old man because he said that he's been one since the Archean. Yeah. Yeah, I always say that I'm ancient, so yeah, pretty old man I am. Just kidding. Anyway, at the end of the day, it was time for Uncle Tim and company to leave. My father took care of it all, having loaded the van and everything into a spacecraft. Because Uncle Tim and Auntie Callisto because Tim and Callisto actually came all the way from the other side of the country just to come here. And they literally drove there, but they got really tired of driving all the way from, it's either Queensland or New South Wales, but either way, I just helped them with transportation. There you go. He was ready to transport Uncle Tim and Auntie Callisto back to the other side of the country, and Auntie Luna to her house on the moon. Yes, she was there too. Yeah. Luna always says that she lives on the moon. Well, 2060 she probably would. But guess where she lives now? She lives on the same street as I do, but it's about 1 kilometre away, so yeah. Moving on. Alright, I'll just be taking everyone home. Q is going to look after you in the meantime, my father said. While my father was out, Bailey called it a day and went to bed, as did Trent. The boys must be really tired after quite an eventful day. I wasn't too tired to get to bed just yet. I spent the last 30 minutes talking to Q. We mainly talked about school and events. However, at the same time, I was wondering where Geistes got to. So weird. I think she might be in my room, probably having a lie down or something. When I went to find Geistes, she wasn't in my room. She was actually out the front, as Q had told me. When I went to see her, she looked quite tired. She wasn't actually asleep though. She was just dozing off. It must have been a really long day for her. When I went to sit next to her, she woke up with a slight surprise. "Oh, hey Stella-Lynn," Geistes said. She stretched out her arms as she greatly yawned. "You feeling tired?" I asked her. "Yeah, I don't really feel like staying awake for a while," Geistes said. "I can try to, but I don't think I can stay awake for longer," she added. "Shall we go to bed?" Okay. "Shall we go to bed now so you don't have to sleep outside all night?" I offered her. "Yeah, I think that's a good idea," Geistes said. So we both got ourselves ready for bed, and as soon as you know it, the lights were turned right off. I definitely wanted Geistes to have enough energy for tomorrow, since she's going to do the swimming carnival. She's been asked by the school if she could attend, and she accepted, so I want her to have plenty of rest before the big day tomorrow. Yeah, even Stella-Lynn's going to go as well. I think. I don't remember when I read the story last time, but I think she did. Yeah. I'm a good swimmer as well myself, you know. Yeah, like, I, I used to swim all the time. I'm having a bit of a gap year from swimming right now, but sometime next year after I finish TAFE, I'm going to go back to swimming. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. Meanwhile, Q was waiting for my father out the front. Once he did arrive, he jumped out of his spacecraft and left it to land safely on the landing pad on top of the garage. Yep, that's how brave I can be, jumping out the spacecraft, he said. Well, that's something you don't do every day, Q said. Yeah, totally, my father said. They both made their way in. Yeah. Being a trained pilot, or rather a Top Gun, I'm literally quite skilled, so yeah. At the age of 53, I would be very skilled, so there you go. Alright. Are the kids already in bed? My father asked. They are actually. They all actually decide to go to bed now, Q said. Who was the last one to go to bed? My father asked. It was in fact Stella-Lynn and Geistes both, Q said. Both of them at the same time? Huh, my father said. Well, Q, since it's just us two, what do you want to do before I fall asleep? My father asked. Maybe play some games and drink some flavoured milk? Q asked. Alright, let's do it, my father said. They both played some DOS and Clear for Takeoff, both with a cup of strawberry milk. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I enjoy it when me and Q do something fun together, so yeah. The next day, it was the day of the swimming carnival. My father asked me if I was going, and I told him that I wasn't expected to join in. Wait, didn't I sign you up for it? My father asked. I'm not sure, but I don't think he did, I said. My father then got a message on his phone. It was an email from the school. It was regarding Geistes. She has to bring a towel, a bag with her lunch, and some sunscreen. She mustn't forget to wear her bathers underneath her school uniform either. That's what my father used to do when he went to school. Yeah, that's what I literally did when I went to school. When I did the swimming carnival when I went to school, high school that is, I had to wear my bathers underneath my sports uniform. So yeah, and I had to put on a lot of sunscreen as well. Always after I finished doing each race. Because I was told by one of the teachers that sunscreen always falls off after you come out the water. And seemingly so, it's true. They'll teach me not to get sunburnt next time. There we go. Okay, let's move on. When Geistes came out, she was all ready to go. She didn't forget her wide-brimmed hat, so she has extra sun protection. Yeah, she literally has like a wide-brimmed hat. Kind of like the ones you see in Mexico, or Spain if you like. Yeah, she has one of her own, but it has like a purple band around it. A bright purple band. Lavender if you like. So yeah. Alright, shall we head off? Geistes asked. Oh, okay. Just a moment, because I need to check if Stella-Lynn is going as well, my father said. My father checked throughout the message, and it appears that I was going too. Stella-Lynn, it appears that you're going with Geistes to the swimming carnival as well, my father said. Really? I've never been told that I was going, but now that you say it, it looks like I am, I said. Quite so, but don't worry, you're going to be alright. You have Geistes to look after you, my father said. I understood what he said, so I got myself prepared, and now I was all ready to go. "All right, let's go, shall we?" my father said. We made our way to school. We had to be a bit early so we don't miss the bus. After my father dropped us off, we both made our way to the sports hall. When we got there, Charlie, Violet, and Strawberry were all waiting for us. "You three are coming along as well?" I asked. "Yes, we are." We all asked if we could come to the swimming carnival, and the teacher said, "Why not?" "Now here we are," Strawberry said. And that next paragraph is just the reminder of all the names. So, sweet. Me and the crew sat on the floor with all the other Year 11s. We all got different numbers written out on our hands, so the teachers can tell us apart from who's going to race. "Now, out of all of us, who do you think is going to win?" Charlie asked. "Geistes for sure," I said. "I don't know, because you're quite fast as well, I really think that," Geistes said. I felt quite glad from what Geistes said, actually. Then I heard someone say my name. Who could it possibly be? I stood up to have a look, and I saw Mark. He came up and said, "There you are, Stella-Lynn. I've been wondering where you've been." Now, if you don't know, Mark is my boyfriend. He and I have been together since we were, 3 years old. Now you're probably wondering, how can you possibly have romantic feelings at such a young age? Well, I'm one of a handful of people who, by chance, already saw someone that they liked. He and I got to know each other very quickly, and from there we got to hang out together more often. When I was 12, Mark went to a different school for about 3 years before coming to this one. But having known he wasn't here, I was desperate to find him again and continue our relationship with each other. I went into dark mode since I felt very lonely without him. But it wasn't until last year that I actually got to see him again. I really missed seeing Mark, and he really missed seeing me as well, so we got back together again to re-strengthen our relationship. Since then, my father encouraged me to hang out with him as often as I could. He got to talk with his mother and told her how much I missed seeing Mark. His mother understood how I felt, so she let Mark have me come over to his place, and sometimes to my place. I don't know what I would have done if I never saw him again. I'm really grateful to have him here with me. He and I hugged each other. "Stella-Lynn, is that the guy you were talking to me about?" Strawberry asked. "That's right. This is my boyfriend, Mark," I said. "Hello there. You must be Strawberry," Mark said. "That's me. Nice to meet you," Strawberry said. "Nice to meet you as well," Mark said. "Anyway, Stella-Lynn, I'm coming to the carnival, not to swim, but to help the teachers, so I can always help you if need be," he said. "Okay then. Thank you, Mark," I said. "That's all right. I always like to help people, especially you, my girl," Mark said. I smiled. Soon after, we all lined up grade by grade to board the bus. There were 3 different buses to fit us all in. Me and the crew were on the last one. So it starts with Year 7s, Year 8s, Year 9s, Year 10s, Year 11s and Year 12s. It makes sense because I can remember being on the last bus in my senior years, so that's how it is. See, someone's flying over. It was going to be quite a journey to get there, but I'm very patient on long journeys. When we got there, we all set ourselves up for the carnival. We didn't forget to put on our sunscreen since the UV radiation was quite high. One thing I found surprising is that there were just 12 people below the age of 15. There were 33 of people 15 and over, including me in the count. So there were 45 people swimming in total. That's kind of how it is. From 2021, there were new rules in my high school that a maximum cap of students, like 50 to 60, is the maximum number. Is the maximum number of students allowed to attend the carnival. And guess what? I was lucky enough to get in. Anyway, let's move on. So we did backstroke, butterfly, breaststroke, freestyle, then individual medley, which is 1 lap of each stroke, but in the normal way. It was a 200-metre swim, but was worth the shot. When Geistes did her race for each one, she dominated not only her grade, but every student who participated in the event. She got 23 seconds in backstroke, 21 seconds in butterfly, 26 seconds in breaststroke, and 16 seconds in freestyle. Yeah, she's going to go to the Olympics, mate. When she did individual medley, however, she came second to me. I got 136 in this race, and Geistes got 137. 1 second difference. All the other ones I got second in, but I was really close to catching up to her. That's okay, though, because I was expecting to be the runner-up for my grade. Seriously, though, there's no one other than Geistes who can be a superhuman in sports. I don't think anyone apart from my father can beat her in any sport. Yeah, I'm quite a bit of a superhuman in sports as well, so yeah. Later, when it was time for presentations, it was only the students who could get the best times who could get a medal for achievement. 2 people of both genders from each grade would be presented with one and are hereby accepted into the inter-school carnival. Yeah, that's the big one. In last year, I actually got first for every single inter-school carnival race that I did in the water. I literally got so good times. Like, I'm still waiting for my request to swim for the state. Anyway, let's move on. When it came to my grade, it was quite obvious that I would receive a runner-up since I came second in almost every race. I just know that Geistes was going to be the champion. Right. Alright, so although they came last, but almost made a comeback for first place, it's Geistes, the teacher said. Wait, Geistes came second? Surely she was first in nearly every race. Even she herself expected to be the champion of the grade. And despite it being quite close, by just the fingertips, the champion is Stella-Lynn, the teacher said. Wait, what? I didn't expect that to happen. Me coming first? There's no way I would have won every race. Surely Geistes won every one apart from individual medley. When I went up to them, I asked them, how did I win every race? Surely Geistes beat me in almost every race. Yeah, I know how it was like. That's what we thought as well. But since we carefully checked to make sure that we were right, it turns out you came and won every one of them by 0.003 seconds on average, and smashed the world record for the fastest race in the water for all strokes, including individual medley, the teacher explains. That was a surprising but quite huge achievement. I've never achieved something so big before. Man, Stella-Lynn is absolutely smashing it. Takes after me. Oh man. After the teacher announced the winners, I then asked them, I know it was really close, but is it okay if me and Geistes just shared the win? I mean, sure, she might have been a fraction of a second out, but I just don't want her to feel guilty about coming in only to realise she came second. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really want her to be the champion as well. The teacher saw Geistes standing there and started to feel quite sorry for her, so they said, "Alright, I'll speak to the other teachers and see if she's able to be the champion as well." I mean, you're absolutely right. It was really close, but I just don't know if they want to leave the results as specific or not. But I'll definitely check, just in case. Thank you. I just had a feeling that you'll be champion girl as well, but we'll have to wait and see, shan't we? I asked. The teacher agreed. When we arrived back at school, another one of the teachers came up and asked, "Is it okay if you and Geistes come with me for a moment?" So we followed them. We came to the sports office where Strawberry was waiting for us. I know what we're doing here. So, Stella-Lynn, I've just spoken with the other teachers and we just want to approve your appeal to how Geistes should be champion girl as well. So basically, you and Geistes were tied in almost every race if you rounded up the times. So Geistes, you'll have to give the runner-up medal to Strawberry, the teacher said. Geistes gave the runner-up medal to Strawberry. "Alright, you three may go home now," the teacher said. The teacher dismissed us and off we went to the pickup area. "Well, Stella-Lynn, looks like you and I are both champions," Geistes said to me. "I'm glad we are. You deserve to be a champion girl," I said. Geistes softly smiled. She hugged me, feeling glad. "Well, Geistes, since you and Stella-Lynn are both champions, I'm kind of glad that I got runner-up," Strawberry said. "I'm glad you did. You deserve it," I said. We all did a group hug. It was a really good feeling. "Alright, well I better get going now. I'll see you tomorrow," Strawberry said. "See you tomorrow," me and Geistes said. We both hugged each other again, feeling proud of our achievements. A few minutes later, my father came to pick us up. We boarded his spacecraft and went off home. Once we arrived, my father brought us to the living room. "So you two, tell me about the carnival today. Did you win anything?" he asked. So, me and Geistes were tied for first place in almost every race. The only race we didn't tie in was individual medley. "I won that one," I said. "And you won't believe this either," I was going to say at the same time as Geistes said it. "We both got champion girl." We both laughed. "Oh my god, you two, that's amazing. Nice work. Who got runner-up?" my father said. "Strawberry got the runner-up medal, so us three are going to the inter-school carnival," I said. "Oh, cool. Good for her. I reckon she really put in a lot of effort." "Nice," my father said. "You won't believe this either, but me and Geistes now both hold the world record for the fastest time in all strokes put together, including individual medley," I said. My father was then shocked. "You got the world record for the fastest time in all strokes put together. You really achieved that as well?" my father asked. I nodded my head. My father then cheerfully laughed. "Ha ha! Oh, mate, that is impressive. Chip off the old block," my father said. "What do you mean by chip off the old block?" I asked. "Well, before you girls got the record, do you want to know who held the last one?" my father asked. "Who held the previous record?" I asked. "I did," my father said. I was really surprised. "You held the previous record?" "Really?" I asked. "That's exactly right. So basically, I gave the world record to you two, since you had a crack at my old time," my father said. "Oh, well, what are the chances of that happening?" I said. "Very small, for sure." Very small for sure. I would definitely say that. Later in the evening, Q arrived back home. My father told her all about what we did at the swimming carnival. She was rather impressed, quite shocked as well when she heard about us break the world record. She then came to our room and said, "Congratulations, you two. I'm really proud of you both." "Thank you, Q. We both feel proud as well," I said. We both told her all about it, and she loved what she heard. Later, my father called for me and Geistes to come to the kitchen. When we came over, we saw some KFC in a huge bag. Girls, since you've achieved quite a lot, I bought you all some KFC for dinner. And don't worry, I remembered all your favourites, my father said. Me and Geistes were really glad that we were having KFC for dinner. We were both really grateful to my father. Glad they're grateful. Trust me, when he said he bought our favourites, he wasn't joking. He got every single piece of food that we've always enjoyed from KFC. You don't have to eat all of it. You can always save it for another time, my father said. Yeah, I think he got a lot of food for us. We chose what we wanted to eat and saved the rest for another time. I can tell you now, we were already stuffed after we ate the chips. We'll save the burgers for another time. I think 10 chicken nuggets, a small box of popcorn chicken, and large chips was enough to fill us up. Now, before we move on, you're probably wondering, is this story ever going to end at some point in time? Well, yes, but not just yet. I've literally got a long script to read, and besides, the ending should be quite good. But I won't tell you what it is until term 2 begins. For now, just stay with me on this, and I'll promise you we'll get to the ending very soon. Yeah, it's not that far away, so yeah. The next 10 days were quite uneventful until on the 15th of March, it was Strawberry's birthday. She came to school wearing a little badge with the number 16 on it. At morning tea, me, Geistes, and the whole crew came and wished her a very happy birthday. We each gave her a little present. I gave her a birthday card with a little chocolate bar. Mostly everyone gave her a chocolate bar, each of a different brand, but Geistes didn't have a chocolate bar to give her. Instead, she gave her a small box of fresh strawberries. "You got me some strawberries?" Strawberry asked. "I didn't have any chocolate, so I gave you some strawberries instead because..." "Your name is Strawberry," Geistes said. Strawberry was then delighted. "Oh, thank you, Geistes. How did you know what my favourite fruit was?" Strawberry asked. "Wait, strawberries are your favourite fruit?" Geistes asked. "Yeah, so thank you so much. You've really made my day," Strawberry said cheerfully. Geistes felt glad from what she heard. However, as if that wasn't enough, Blake came along and said to Strawberry, "Happy birthday, Strawberry. I have a little gift for you." Blake gave Strawberry her present. When she opened it, she was really surprised. It's a necklace with letter beads that spell out her name, with 2 beads that shape like a strawberry and some additional colourful beads after that. And a love heart, and some love hearts as well, let's just say that. Blake said. "Oh my god, I really love it. Thank you, Blake," Strawberry said. She hugged him in delight. "No worries, my friend. I saw those beads and I thought, why not make a necklace for you? And so I did," Blake said. "Mate, along with the strawberries that Geistes gave me, you've really made my day." "You all made my day, everyone. Thank you so much for the gifts," Strawberry said. "It's all good. To us all, you're a really loyal friend, so we want to say thank you as well," I said. Strawberry smiled. Every single day for school, Strawberry wore her shining necklace that Blake gave her. She absolutely loved it. Once a month, she would give it a good polish to make it as shiny as it was on the first day she wore it. Even I thought it looked quite impressive. On the 23rd of March, when we were in literacy class, the teacher taught us all about pen pals. So basically, you get to write a letter to someone who might live on the other side of the country, or in a different country entirely. Greta got someone named Greg, who lived in Britain. Charlie got a pen pal from Belgium. April Akai got someone from Canada. Chloe got someone from Pakistan. Ellie got someone from Italy. Violet got someone from the Queanbeyan Republic. Way up in Siberia, bro. Lucy got someone from Papua New Guinea. Strawberry got someone who lives in Brisbane. Geistes got someone from Germany. And I got someone from the Austinian Republic. I reckon this is going to be a lot of fun. Hey, Stella-Lynn, I got someone named Jim. This is so cool, Lucy said. I got someone named Harold, Strawberry said. I got someone named Elevisto Ectaliste, Violet said. Wow, long name. Yeah, a lot of words are quite long in Queanbeyan, so that's how it is. Moving on. I got someone named Adam. This is so cool already, Geister said. Who did you get? Strawberry asked me. Let's see. I got someone named Murray, I said. Oh man, it's not often you see or hear from a person named Murray. I mean, my father's name is Murray, but anyone else with that name is quite rare, Strawberry said. Sounds interesting, I said. The next day, I received a letter from Murray, who was my pen pal. Basically, we're getting to know each other well. We asked the simple questions, like what's your favourite food, TV shows, or something you like doing in your spare time. To answer those 3 questions, Murray likes fruit salad. Yeah, he was... Funny thing is that the character of Murray was literally named after one of the people from the Wiggles, so that's why I wrote fruit salad in here. Alright, to answer those 3 questions, Murray likes fruit salad, he loves to watch Tales from the United Federations, and does drawing in his spare time. Pretty interesting, isn't it? Yeah. And if you want to know what Stella-Lynn gets up to in her spare time, she loves to... Oh man, what does she love to eat? Well, she likes to eat biscuits. She loves to watch TSC, just like I do, and just like Murray, she does drawing in her spare time. And create stuff on her phone. That's like writing stories like one I'm telling you now. There you go. So there you go. Later today at morning tea, I was talking to my friends about what their pen pals wrote to them. Violet brought hers over because she couldn't understand a single word Elevista Ectalista wrote. Can I read it? Geistes asked. Violet gave her postcard to Geistes for her to read what had been written. Yeah, Geistes is quite a good Queanbeyan speaker, so yeah. Yeah, Geistes is a real life supernatural, so she's quite good. This is how she translated the letter that was written to Violet. Oh, she's basically asking if you've ever been to her country before and what your favourite food is, Geister said. Wait, how do you know what she said? Violet asked. Q taught me everything I needed to know about how to read, understand, and how to speak Queanbeyan. Yeah, got it from Q. That's basically the language she wrote in. She could definitely understand what you're saying in English, though, Geister said. I don't think I've been to the Queanbeyan Republic before. And before you ask, my favourite food are muesli bars and fruit salad. I'm just wondering, have you ever been to Australia, and what is your favourite food and drinks? Violet said. She wrote that down on a lined piece of paper to send through the mail in an envelope. She'll be telling her literacy class teacher all about it. A few minutes later, Blake came over and asked Strawberry, Did you get a pen pal like me? I did. Their name is Harold. He just lives over east in Brisbane. Oh, this way, sorry. Strawberry said. What's your pen pal? She asked. My pen pal is Jake. He lives in the new Australian Empire. He's in Anchorage, Blake said. Nice. Must be quite lovely there, Strawberry said. Oh, it is. I know because I've been there before, Blake said. You've been to Anchorage before? So have I. I know what I was thinking, Strawberry said. Well, if it's all right with your father, maybe you can come with me to Anchorage because I'm having a 5-day holiday there during Easter. I reckon you'll love it, Blake said. As long as the tickets aren't expensive, I can definitely come along, Strawberry said. All right, fair dinkum, Blake said. Yeah. There you go. I feel that Strawberry and Blake are really getting together now, and in 4th period, Strawberry told me just that. She really has a lot of feelings towards him, and I encourage her. I'm just curious how that's all happened within a month. For me and Mark, over the long term, it took us 12 years to really get together eventually. But I haven't expected any two people to get together within a month. Perhaps they both got to know each other well very quickly. I never know. Yeah. Took me about 2.5 years or 3 years just to get to know Q well, and yeah, she taught me everything, or told me everything really, but she did teach me a few things, and now I use those skills. So there you go. Over the holidays, Strawberry really did go to Anchorage with Blake. Her father was kind of chill around Blake. When he met Blake's father, the two men really got along well and loved to have a good conversation about many different things. Blake's aunt was waiting for him at Sydney to take the flight over to Anchorage. From there, they flew over for a holiday to see Blake's relatives for 5 days. So yeah, it's kind of like a family visit or something. Back home, I got to hang out with Mark a few times. He and I got to sit together and watch the sunset one time. Another time we got to share our favourite television shows. Apparently he likes the show where some teenage girls go missing, then they turn up again. It was down to one boy to work out what's going on. I won't give you any spoiler alerts though because I actually haven't seen the show before. If you're wondering about the rest of the crew, they did another round of hide and seek. Geistes was the seeker and had 10 minutes to find everyone. Apparently, as she told me, it only took her 30 seconds to find everyone. I really don't know how she does it, but she's really good. Perhaps she can run fast, knowing where they all went, or she could actually smell where they went by using their scent. Who knows? Or maybe she can hear where everyone went, judging by direction. There you go. Now this is where the story now ends. When it was time to go back to school for term 2, it was time to ramp things up since I have ATAR exams that very term. I knew I had to do some homework and whatnot, but it's really the least I can do to help me and succeed in the test. I need a minimum of 90% my cross, so fingers crossed. In the meantime, I still have time during breaks to hang out with my friends. I know they helped me, so now I get to help them. I basically gave them all advice on what to do, even when you're doing a huge test like ATAR. Even if it seems difficult, just take a little moment to take a deep breath to help yourself calmly focus on the question. I told them all. I can tell you now, they're definitely going to remember that. There's the character reminder again. Gotcha. Now some characters I didn't mention to you, who are Chris Cranberry, Sam Salmonberry, Helen Huckleberry and Bertha Banana. If you're ever wondering about them, don't worry. They're doing well. They're currently doing some studies on different things at university and during the school holidays when we get to play hide and seek. I got to talk to them and ask how their studies were going. Well, we're still quite a while away from achievement, But the good news is that we're one step closer towards it, Sam said. That was good to hear from her, really. I got to speak to all of them. They told me all about what they're doing and how it benefits them for the future. I thought it was quite interesting. Yeah, so they're going to get jobs soon. I reckon this term has some interesting things to offer, but that's a story for another day. And yeah, that's the end of the story of A Strawberry Girl and Friends. But I have something a little extra for you. I'm going to give you a prelude to the next story, which is the epilogue for this story. Here it is. One Tuesday at school, Geistes was just hanging around the area near the arts building. She was doing some drawing in her little book until someone came up and sat down next to her. It was someone named Eric. Geistes saw him, and at the same time, Eric saw Geistes. Geistes started to feel something she hadn't ever felt in her lifetime. So, you must be Geistes, right? Eric asked. Yeah, that's me. How do you know my name? Geistes asked. I've heard of your achievement at the swimming carnival. Pretty good, isn't it? Eric asked. Yeah, it was pretty fun, Geistes said. Oh, where are my manners? My name is Eric. You do remember your pen pal? Eric asked. I do, he's Adam, Geistes said. Well, believe it or not, I'm his brother, Eric said. Geistes then felt amazed. Mate, are you serious? That's so cool, she said. I agree with you. I too think it's pretty cool, Eric said. Man, I like you already. You gotta tell me everything. I really want to know you guys better, Geistes said. Of course, let's do it, Eric said. Yeah, Eric has a pretty good German accent, though I'm probably butchering that with a Russian accent. Anyway, moving on. It's probably a Königsberg accent, but you never know. Eric and Geistes told each other about a lot of things, like their favourite food and TV shows. Eric even got to introduce Adam to her in real life. Her reaction was quite phenomenal. Geistes got to know Adam so well that they both got together in the end. I'll tell you all about it in the next story. And that's the end of the epilogue and prelude to the next story. So there you go, everyone. That was the story of A Strawberry Girl and Friends. And I can remember posting a vote on the channel for what story you would like me to read next afterwards, and we got 2 votes for Lantern Hearts, so that's what I'm going to read to you next. So thanks for watching, everyone. My name is Van Thursday, and I'll see you guys again soon. Bye for now. just to let you know, I haven't actually written the second story of A Strawberry Girl and Friends yet, but I'll definitely write it as soon as I finish writing that Red Flood story in 2026, so stay tuned for that. I might present it to you next year, so yeah.